class. Today we'll begin with Act 3, Scene 5. The scene happens in the garden of Portia's residence at Belmont. The scene adds to the humorous element of the play. And since there is humor, of course, we can never undermine the role played by Lancelot. The scene begins with a funny quarrel between Lancelot and Jessica. Let's enter into the topic. So, this scene begins with the dialogue of Lancelot to Jessica. Let's see what Lancelot is telling to Jessica. Lancelot is telling, "Yes, truly, for look you, the sins of father are to be laid upon the children. Therefore, I promise you, I fear you. I was always playing with you, and so now I speak my agitation of the matter." So, the dialogue of Lancelot is to Jessica. What Lancelot is telling to Jessica is that, yes, truly, I am very sure about it. Look you, just see, the sins of father are to be laid upon the children. There is a saying even in the Bible that if the father is a sinner, the sins of father, that is, if the father is a sinner, it is to be laid upon the children. Definitely, the children will be made to suffer it in their life. Therefore, I promise you. So Lancelot is telling, therefore, I am very sure, I promise you, I fear you, I am really anxious about you. I was always playing with you. I was always playing with you means I had been always honest with you. So now I speak my agitation of the matter, and therefore, so now means therefore, I am expressing my agitation, anxiety of the matter. Anxiety mentioned here is that Jessica will have to suffer in her life because her father is a sinner. And after saying all these, he is telling to Jessica, therefore, be of good cheer, therefore cheer up Jessica. For truly, I am sure, I think you are damned. Definitely, you are damned. You won't have a good life. You will have to face. You will have to meet damnation after death. So let's see what's the reply given by Jessica hearing the comment of Lancelot. Jessica, I shall be saved by my husband. So Jessica is telling, no, such a thing is not going to happen in my life. I will not be damned after my death. I shall be saved by my husband. I have a very good husband with me. So because of the good works done by my husband, I shall be saved. He hath made me a Christian. Moreover, I am a Christian now. He has made me a Christian. So because of all these things, I will not be damned because of the sins committed by my father. Lancelot, truly, the more to blame he. We were Christian enow before. So Lancelot is telling, hearing this, Lancelot is telling, truly the more to blame he. Because he is the husband of, he is your husband. And truly, the more to blame he, honestly, then there will be more blame on him. There is now more blame on him because he is your husband. We were Christians enow before. Why he is to be blamed is that we were Christians enow before. Enow before means before you got converted to Christianity. According to Lancelot, there were enough number of Christians in that place. We were Christians enow before. We had enough number of Christians. Enow means enough. We had enough number of Christians before you got converted to Christian. Even as many as could well live one by another. And that number of Christians were quite good enough. And that number of Christians were quite sufficient, even as many. We had the sufficient number of Christians who could live comfortably one by another. And they were living comfortably and they were living together in a very comfortable manner. This making Christian will raise the price of all. And it was then your husband converted you to a Christian. So this making Christian, because you were made Christian by your husband, will raise the price of og. It is going to raise the price of og. It is going to raise the price of pigs. Because we know Christians consumes pigs or pork. Whereas for Jews, it is something which is very bad. So, this making of Christian, because you got converted to Christianity, the number of people who are consuming pigs is going to increase, and thereby the price of pigs is also going to increase. If we all grow to be pork eaters, we shall not shortly have a rasher on the coals for money. So he is telling, if we grow all to be pork eaters, if all the people in this area is going to become the pork eaters, that is, if all are going to become Christians, all will definitely become pork eaters. Then what is going to happen is, we shall not have a rasher on the coals for money. Meaning, we will not get at any price a slice of bacon or cooked pork over the coal fire. If all are going to get converted to Christians, then what's going to happen is, for even by giving money, we will not be able to get a slice of bacon or roasted pork. So by the time enter Lorenzo. So Lorenzo is telling, Jessica, now comes the dialogue of Jessica. Jessica, I'll tell my husband, Lancelot, what you say, here he comes. So Jessica gets angry to Lancelot because he passed such a comment about her husband. So Jessica is telling, I'll tell my husband. So Jessica told to Lancelot, definitely I'll tell what you have blamed about my husband to him. What do you say? Here he comes, here he is coming, my husband is coming, definitely I'll tell the matter to my husband. Lorenzo, I shall grow jealous of you shortly, Lancelot, if you thus get my wife into corners. So when Lancelot is coming, when Lorenzo is coming, what Lorenzo witnessed over there is, Lancelot and Jessica was talking in one of the corner of the house. So finding this, Lorenzo is telling, I shall grow jealous of you shortly, Lancelot. So Lorenzo is telling, Lancelot, I shall grow angry or jealous on you if you thus get my wife into corners. If you get my wife, or if you start talking with my wife in some quiet place like this. If I find you talking to my wife in the quiet places like these, in the corners. Because no husband entertains his wife talking to another man, that too standing in one corner of the house or so, in a secret manner. Jessica, hearing this, Jessica is telling, nay, you need not fear us, Lorenzo. Lancelot and I are out. So Jessica is telling, no, Lorenzo, you need not fear of such a thing at all. We don't have any unwanted connection at all. Lancelot and I are out. Right now itself, we had a quarrel. We have already broken. We had a quarrel. We are out means we had a quarrel. He tells me flatly that there is no mercy for me in heaven because I am a Jew's daughter. So she is conveying the matter to Lorenzo. She is telling to Lorenzo, he tells me flatly. This Lancelot is telling me flatly. He is telling me without any mercy. Flatly means without, in a plain manner, without any mercy. Flatly means plainly. He tells me plainly, there is no mercy for me in heaven. He is telling to me that I won't get any mercy at heaven because I am a Jew's daughter. And the reason stated by him is that because I am the daughter of a Jew. That is one of the complaints raised by Lancelot. And the next point given by Lancelot is that he says, you are no good member of the Commonwealth. And he also blamed you, saying that you are not a good member of Commonwealth. Commonwealth here means Christianity, Christian community. You are not a good member of the Commonwealth for in converting Jews to Christians because you were involved in converting Jews to Christians. And thereby you were increasing, you raised the price of pork, and thereby you were trying to simply increase the price of pork. So hearing this, Lorenzo is telling to Lancelot, "Go in, sirrah, bid them prepare for dinner." So this is a dialogue said by Lorenzo. Lorenzo is saying this dialogue to Lancelot. "Go in, sirrah. Go in, sirrah. Sirrah means fool. Bid them prepare for dinner." Bid them. Bid them means order them. Prepare for dinner. Order them to prepare for dinner. So over here there is a pun done by over here a pun is there in this dialogue. Bid them prepare for dinner. What Lorenzo meant is that order them to prepare, whereas what Lancelot meant there is that order them to be prepared to have dinner. What Lancelot meant is that how the Lancelot is understanding this statement is, or how he is interpreting the meaning of this line is that order the servants to be prepared to have dinner. Lancelot, "That is done, sir. They have all stomachs." So to this, interpreting the meaning of that sentence to be so, of that phrase to be so, Lancelot is telling to Lorenzo, "Sir, you need not tell them to be prepared for dinner. They have all stomachs. All are having stomachs. So as a result, all are prepared to have dinner." Lorenzo, "Goodly Lord, what a wit snapper you are. Then bid them prepare dinner." So Lorenzo understood the statement. Lorenzo understood that he is trying to crack a comedy using the particular phrase which he had said. So Lorenzo is telling, "Goodly Lord, what a wit snapper you are you? What a great comedian you are." Wit snapper means comedian. Then bid them prepare dinner. So he is changing his dialogue now. Then he is telling, "Oh sorry, then you go and tell them to prepare dinner, not to be prepared to have dinner, but to prepare dinner." Lancelot, "That is done too, sir. Only cover is a word." Lancelot is telling, "Of course, the dinner is prepared. That is done too, sir. Of course, the dinner is already prepared. Only cover is the word. You just need to give the order to cover the table. Then all the items will be laid on the table." Cover is a word. We are waiting for your message we are waiting for your order. You just have to say to cover the table, then everything will be laid on the table. So Lorenzo is telling, "Will you cover then, sir?" So Lorenzo is asking to Lancelot, "Okay then, will you cover? Will you lay all the items on the table now, sir?" To that, Lancelot is telling, let's see what Lancelot said. "Not so, sir. Neither. I know my duty." So Lancelot first of all told Lorenzo that you just have to place the order to cover the table, then all the items will be laid on the table. So hearing this, Lorenzo was telling to Lancelot, "Okay then, you cover the table. Will you cover then, sir?" To that, Lancelot is telling, "No, not so, sir. Neither. I know my duty." "No, sir, I will not cover." What he said is, "Will you cover then, sir? Will you cover?" He didn't say, "Will you cover the table?" He just said, "Will you cover?" So to that, what Lancelot is telling is that, "No, not so, sir. Neither. I know my duty." So Lancelot is interpreting the meaning to something else. So he is telling, "No, sir, I will not cover because I know my duty." What he meant to cover here is that I will not cover my head. I will not cover my head with a hat. Not so, sir. What Lorenzo said is that, "Will you cover the table or will you lay all the food items on the table?" But he just said, "Will you cover then?" Over here we can see what Lorenzo is telling. "Will you cover then, sir?" He didn't say, "Will you cover the table?" He just said, "Will you cover then?" So instead of understanding the meaning in the plain manner, we find Lancelot again playing with the words. And Lancelot saying, "Not so, sir. Neither. No, sir. I will not cover. I know my duty." What he means here is that, "Sir, I will not cover my head with a hat because I know that being an inferior person, I'm not supposed to cover my head with the hat before a superior like you. Lorenzo, yet more quarreling with the occasion. So, hearing this, Lorenzo's fed up. So, Lorenzo's chilling, yet more quarreling with the occasion. Simply, you are disputing with the words without taking the right meaning. Simply, you are going for dispute without taking the right meaning of the words in accordance with the occasion. Will thou show the whole wealth of thy wit in an instant? So Lorenzo is asking, actually, what is your plan? Are you planning to show the entire wealth of your wit? Wit means your intelligence in this at this particular moment itself. Are you planning to show your entire intelligence or your play with the words at this particular moment itself? I pray thee. So finally he's telling, I request you, understand a plain man in his plain meaning. Please understand a plain man like me. In its plain meaning, do understand or take each and every word and phrase in the sense what I meant. Go to thy fellows, go tell your fellows, bid them cover the table. Go tell them to cover the table. Serve in meat and we will come into dinner. So now he is telling everything by expanding and telling the right in the right sense. He is telling bid them cover the table. Go tell them to cover the table. Serve in meat. He is not stopping by saying only serve. He is telling tell them to serve in meat. Otherwise, he might misunderstand or he might misinterpret into something else. And we will come into dinner. And once everything is served there, definitely we will come to have the dinner. So, remaining part we'll do in the next class. Till then, goodbye.